Hello, welcome to the Wildcat Walkthrough. I am Cedric Bailey, and I have with me the head coach of the Dunbar Wildcats, Coach Todd Lawson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How
Well,
about
first,
yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. This has been a crazy week, but first, let's recap and talk about that exciting game against Dallas Madison. You said that quarterback was the real deal, and Tucker, he was every bit of it and some.
Yeah, but it's good to get out there and play against a player like that because you kind of get our kids to understand they just got to defeat a team like that. You're gonna have to play as a team because he can break it. He can break it down. He can break it down. If it come down to a one man show, he has the ability to really do that. So, but the kids hung in there, and at first we started kind of shaky, started off kind of slow, but we kind of picked it up, and then second half really played well. So.
Yeah, well, it started off a game where the very first running play, uh, what's the name? Moore,
Mean Gene
Mean
Moore.
Gene Moore got the ball, made a 5-yard run, and boom,
Yes.
he fumbled.
Yeah, and it was out of character, wasn't a big hit or anything like that. Like I just told him, man, you just got to be focused at the beginning of the game and be ready to go. And that's just what happened. I think we've ended up fumbling with three times and lost those, and that's something we hadn't been doing. So that's just something that was out of character. And then that's the kind of things that kind of put you in a hole, and then your kids kind of started wondering, so they kind of bagging into the next week, but they kept fighting.
The only time I saw you go in the visor watch was with one of your guys. Y'all gave him that second touchdown, and I think Price kind of came in there late, and the guy was already down, and so I saw the visor turn a little bit as you went. You went and said something to him like, you got to know when to hit and know when to stop.
Yes, and you think about it, that game, we had a big play on offense. We had a hold, and it was a hold on a player who couldn't get over there to make the play. So then we had that with Price, but we had him stopped. We had him stopped. Had him stopped, and then you do something like that, get him an automatic first down, so you're helping him sustain a drive. Because with an athlete like that at quarterback, a good player like that at quarterback, you can't give him opportunities because he's going to take advantage of them.
Yeah, y'all did rattle him too, but y'all rattled him like late in the third quarter. Yeah. But let's talk about the response from the team and how well they performed. You had to make an adjustment in the first half because you went with Woodard as your quarterback, but then you went with Odom, and y'all were able to connect to some passes with him being a lefty. So talk about the shift and what kind of adjustments that you and close.
We just really getting the feel of those two. We know what we're capable of doing with Woodard, but he's not the type of athlete that Tajon is, Mr. Odom. So we kind of know what we're getting with Woodard. He runs the offense very efficient and stuff like that. But we get a little bit more. We have a little bit more at offense when we do have Odoms, but we just got to see whichever one has got the feeling of the game, and we're able to do some good things with them. We'll kind of roll with them for a while.
Proud of Woodard too as well, because he's the guy that holds the snaps from your kicker.
Exactly.
Exactly. And sometimes you be like, man, well, here I am. I got to run out here and I got to hold this snap. You need me to do this, but I got to be a team player. And I noticed that is what you are trying to do at Dunbar. Get them to think, whatever I got to do.
Exactly. That's the thing, and that's very important about when they go out into the real world, into a career, and go get a job. They just can't walk into a new job and tell everybody what to do and how they're going to run the company. You got to be able to be a good follower and understand that there's a pecking order, and that where you fall at, and you basically just do your job, and that's what we tell them. And a lot of those guys, you even look at Tajon. Tajon's starting at the free safety, then he started on the field of the special teams, and then we asked him to go in there at quarterback, and he's just doing it all, because in order for us to be successful, we all are going to have to be, do that. And that was one of the main reasons why we went to the football field after that game, and where I could just kind of talk with them that it's going to take every last one of them, even the guys that's running the water out there on the field, the JV guys that go to that game. It's going to take every last one of those guys in order for us to be successful, because they play a part. They play a big part of it.
Let's talk about the second half, Coach, because you went down at halftime. What was it, 21-6 or something like that?
21-7. And really, I just told them we wasn't flustered as a coach. The kids didn't seem like they was flustered. We knew we were getting the ball back. And like I told him, all we have to do is just settle down and just do, because a couple of those fumbles came from the backfield. I think one of them or two of them we may have recovered, but it was because the backs was kind of trying to rush. I kept telling them, just take your time, and run, and run your place. So I just told the guys, man, we just got to settle down and just run our offense, because I felt like they was going to have trouble. They had to blitz the house in order to stop our run.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
we just had to, we had to withstand that. And once we withstand, I say, guys, y'all have seen all they can do. We just got to settle down and let's run the ball, start leaning on them, and let's run the ball.
Special teams played big on that kickoff return, set it up for a great field position. And before you know it, you were in the end zone. And then later on, you scored like 3 touchdowns in the third period and made it a game. And then here comes Madison. It was like a seesaw battle going back and forth.
And that's good to get the kids in that type of a situation where they know how to play that, because when you get with those good teams, like I tell them, a championship caliber team know that when they got to really put their nose to the grindstone and they got to score, they got to get something positive to shift that momentum, they're going to do it. So you got to be able to withstand that. And if they do take the momentum, you got to be willing to go back and take it back from them. So that was a good game. That's a good learning process for our young players.
Now, one of your players on defense, was that 58, or which young man was it that got injured during the game?
Number 28, Jonte Lyons.
Jonte inspired the team, and I saw them all take a knee, and he was being taken out of there, and the players came by and showed some love for him. And when he was leaving, he threw both hands up in the air and he clapped his hands. What did you see go on with your players then, Coach? When
they knew he was okay, and they was kind of a concern, because he's he's a lot of energy for our team and our defense. So once he did that, they know he was okay. So they can just go out there and just play. We had to plug in some guys that weren't familiar with all the things that we do. So we was going to have to just really coach them up on the field, and they responded to that as well, just to understand, we know you don't know all the stuff, so you're just going to have to be able to be coached up.
I watched the highlight from the kickoff return in the fourth period. Number 17, what's his name again?
Okay, that's Keyshawn Mills, defensive end.
Keyshawn Mills is on the kickoff return team. He's blocking and he's running along. And all of a sudden, who was that? Was that Poole?
That was Brazil.
Running the ball.
Uh-huh.
Got to the 35-yard. Lost the ball. It bounced. And here is Keyshawn picking it up on a bounce and running it in for the touchdown.
Yeah. And I told, it's a great play, but you hate it, then you love it. Like I told you, now when I was looked at, when I was seeing it, in my mind, I was saying, we're scoring too fast. I wanted to get the ball where we can kind of run it down the field and kind of eat up some clock. But we just take it as we, yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah. And we just kind of took that, and then we did the fake extra point, and we threw it to Keyshawn. He was the one that caught the extra 2 points as well.
Now, you only had 30 seconds to tell Coach Blaze Roberts up in the press box, because he was going to – what was he going to do? Tell us what that conversation was.
Well, but really, that was we were going in with the extra point, because that kid was making an extra point. It just went over, and I just said, hey, no, we're going to fake it. We're going to fake it. And once they knew that, once they knew, hey, we were going to fake it, there was no questions or anything like that. I just said, hey, we're going to fake it. We're going for it. And I knew if we didn't get it, we probably had some time where we were going to have to score again anyway. So we had 2 shots at getting that extra point. In there. So, we just went for it, and that kind of shows the kid, again, showing the kids, hey, we at home, man. We got to play to win,
Right.
and that kind of helped the kids to understand how that game goes.
All right. Of course, you're checking out our conversation with Coach Todd Lawson. And of course, we're here for the BGC Sports Network 2 for the game tonight on this Friday. It is, of course, the ODY Chaparrals. All this week, they've been talking trash. It's been crazy. But I want to know, what do you see about Coach Zach and his ODY Chaparrals?
Even though they're starting at 0-2, they lost to some very good teams. They have a very high-powered offense. They throw the ball. They throw the ball a lot more than what we've seen. They're probably going to throw more in this one game than we've seen adding both games of passing. So they throw the ball a lot. They spread it around. They got a good young quarterback that has a real strong arm. He slings that ball around and things like that. So we got to be able to, in the secondary, don't miss an assignment, because if you mess around and let them get behind you, that quarterback don't get that ball downfield and get an easy score. And that was our thing this week, was just make sure we don't give up any big plays. If they score, make them have to work for it. Now, defensively, they're a scrappy defense. They're gonna get to the ball. The coach got them, he got them really energetic and getting to the ball. So again, they can very well be, it can look a lot like Madison. Hopefully don't get behind as much, but it can look a lot like, because they have smaller defensive linemen. So it's going to take a little while for our big boys to start leaning on them and cause a difference. So we already know that's coming. So like I tell the guys, don't get frustrated. It's going to come. And then when we start wearing them down a little bit, and then you're going to start seeing where we can rattle off those runs and things like that to put a little force on them. So that's coming.
All right. Well, we're talking with Coach Todd Lawson, and he is the head coach of the Dunbar Wildcats. And of course, you guys play this game, and then you got a bye week. You got a week off, don't you?
Yes, and that'll be real good. We'll have a bye week, and that'll be real good to give guys a break and get them on the mend a little bit as well. So
definitely on that situation. And then you will play on against Eastern Hills. Is that on the 23rd on a Thursday? You got
when we come back, that'll be Benbrook. That's Benbrook. We'll have when we come right back. That'll be Benbrook.
Okay, and then you will play again, and both of these games are Hanley on the 23rd and the 30th. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. Well, listen, Coach, we're about out of time. Anything you want to say about your staff and your coaches, man? Because I tell you what, your staff is doing a phenomenal job. Anything you want to say in closing?
We wouldn't be in the position we're in if it wasn't for my staff, and they're doing a great job, and they're able to make adjustments and things like that. So hey, they're doing a good job of having the kids ready to play, and then when we do have setbacks, to kind of just stay positive and just keep coaching the kids, because it's gonna turn, and if it's the game go the way it's gonna turn. We just got to be ready to jump on it when it do turn.
All right, you heard it. Hey, and by the way, this is a non-conference game. Conference will start the following week, and that's where it goes from here. But I think you've done pretty good. Your team has grown a lot, and we just want to say good luck as you take on the ODY Chaparrals. Charles Boyd is going to be on the call along with Big Day, and thank you for allowing us to carry the broadcast here on BGC Sports Network too. Good luck, Coach, against the ODY Chaparrals.
All right, thank you, Cedric. Thank you. Really appreciate that.